Hi everybody, I'm Cherish.
And I'm Joy.
And we're
Tusicles Musicals.
And we saw... Did you want to be starting something?
MJ, the musical.
No, I love about them. They're just like, you
Yeah.
know this is Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you don't need
They
to.
don't even have to say that it's MJ. We apologize if you're catching any of that ambient noise. Someone is playing with their toddler in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. They're really doing that, like right now, like right outside our door. That's great. I love that for them. Not so much for us, but for them. So we saw MJ. I won the lottery for MJ, and they gave us seats. I'm looking like there's a stub in a box. Oddly, it was F. Was that the same box like we have for Music Man? Was that an F or was it? No, maybe not.
We were in J, right?
Maybe it was J. Okay, anyway. So it's the We Were Right Orchestra in a box. I would say was very partial view. It doesn't say that when you get your ticket. I mean, because it was an e-ticket, like, and they only send it about an hour or so. Well, I got a little. They told me I would get it like an hour before showtime, but I got it maybe about 4 hours, three hours, 2 hours or so, maybe 3-ish hours before showtime. And I guess that's like after. I don't know how they do that, but it was a very partial view seat, and I want to say it kind of interrupted our enjoyment maybe of the show a little bit. Funnily, it didn't do the same thing for Music Man, but for MJ it did. And I don't know if that's because we're familiar with the Music Man and we already kind of know the story versus like MJ where it's like something new and we were kind of like not getting the full picture. Speaking of the story of MJ, Lynn Nottage did the book. Whoop. Give it up. She's in like the Dominique Morisseau sort of sphere with like, or more so Dominique is in her sphere. Yeah, like well, but like Dominique, but I feel like Dominique is kind of. No, I'm saying Dominique did the like in terms of like stories like for Ain't Too Proud. Like things like that. I was like, because I feel like maybe Dominique is kind of picking up the torch from Lynn Nottage, but you're talking more so about like biopics in the musical world. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Agreed. So the story basically, and for those who don't know, it's not like a review. It's not like Fosse or anything like that. With like a review of like Michael's music and like just watching like a performance of like Michael's like greatest hits or whatever. Right. It's not even a Life and Times technically either. No, it chronicles his journey of like the Dangerous tour, which was in '92. I think if you weren't around in that time, like I guess Dangerous wasn't his most popular. Obviously, it wasn't his most popular album, so it was kind of gave us Human Nature. I mean, what more do you want? So it follows him rehearsing for this Dangerous tour, and you see this film crew, which is just like a woman and like her camera guy. I think they were from MTV. MTV, yeah, they were doing like this. I guess filming, the rehearsals to try to make like the story up about him, and they get access to Michael, which of course he's wary about because in the '90s, that's when he really started going through like a lot of like legal troubles and like financial troubles. This show very much caters to like people who are like around then. I would say, because I can't see anyone really like maybe 18 or under really giving a hoot more or less, because they were young when Michael passed anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know, Michael's already this ethereal kind of like mythical like person, like that's just like what he reached. So he seemed kind of like not, I don't want to say relevant, but like he wasn't on their radar. You know, like he like it like the like I'm not explaining this right. Definitely the crowd were older people.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of black people at this show, as well. Obviously, like Michael Jackson, but there were also like a lot of like older people, and that's because they would have been around when like Michael was like really like doing his like thing, and they would have been fans. They might have been to his Dangerous concert. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it kind of, the story does a lot of like kind of like flashbacks, like
yes,
like young Michael, like that middle aged Michael, where he's like moving on from the Jackson 5 to being Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
We get those like iconic like the Pepsi fiasco when he got injured really bad, and
mm-hmm.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. And you get the people in the rehearsal space kind of double as like the people in his like life, like his parents,
like his
and
brothers
and things like that. They kind of all like they double cast like that, and they have like they use like the songs to as like rehearsal songs, like them rehearsing the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And they do like kind of flashbacks to like performances of like certain songs, and then the songs that aren't on the Dangerous album they kind of use as like this is what I'm feeling sort of type
mm-hmm.
songs, which was really smart. But I would say that
they even do some Jackson 5 songs.
Yeah, I would say I think the show would have been more enjoyable as a review.
Yeah,
a la Fosse.
Right, if it was just like this man left such like a legacy of the music where literally no one is touching Michael. Like when it comes to like
mm-hmm.
music, like he's still like, your thoughts about him like aside, his music is like transcending.
Mm-hmm. That being said, we saw what's his name? We did not see Miles Frost. We saw Aramy Payton,
yeah,
as Michael, who's like standby.
We got a lot of wonder studies, I believe.
Yeah, we got a lot of wonder studies. I don't think that took away from anything.
Like all. Rachel was a Yo-Yo Joy. The role of Robin Joseph was Antoine L. Smith. And then, right, because the roles usually played by him was played by Wanza Johnson. And then the roles usually played by Zelig Williams was by Christopher Campbell. And the roles usually played by Karina K. Lucci was Camille Upshaw. So many people on tracks that they aren't normally in. But the show was, I mean, they're obviously a very talented group of people, but
they're working so hard. You know what's interesting about the show is that they have it open.
Right.
Even though there's a curtain down, it's like you can see Druid, and it's like a screen, and you can see them. They're like rehearsing, and they're waiting for Michael to show up. So like you'll see them, you'll hear like
they slowly start like trickling in.
Yeah, and like like working out, stretching and stuff like that, and then you start hearing them 5 minutes to Michael, 3 minutes to Michael, and I feel like people. I don't know if the audience really paid attention to that,
right?
Because like when the show started, it kind of seemed like everyone was a bit like surprised.
Right, it kind of took a while to settle down a little bit. Like I don't know. Yeah, I totally get what they were like going for. Like we're kind of like in the room with them, but also like there wasn't much of a okay, this is about to happen now, like moment. So that was a little strange.
Yeah.
Also, a little strange was the show uses a lot of like audience like audio, and it was a little bit distracting. Like so, it's like it sounds like clapping and like whooping and stuff like that. And like a couple of times, like I found myself being like, "Are people clapping?"
It just felt like it was clapping and whooping throughout the whole show because the audience was doing a lot of it themselves.
Oh, was that okay?
And then also they were using the track,
right?
So it felt like the whole show, like people were like doing a lot, and like. I don't know. We like a lively audience, and we think it's cool and stuff like that. And I think that would work if it were a concert.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Kind of. Yeah, we kind of felt like it would have worked out better if the show was more or less a concert versus like a kind of not as being like a biopic, like we're on like a fly on the wall of this like specific moment or moments in his like life. I will say Army, for not, typically playing like the role, he was really good. Like when he opened his mouth and he had his like Michael voice, everyone was like, yep. Like there it is. He's like really great. We really love I really loved, I don't want to speak for you. Those like moments where Michael's like, you're like, oh, he was really like kind of missing something. Like he would do these things that were like kind of like childish throughout the show, and it was usually when like things were not going as planned, like surrounding like the tour, and you were kind of like, oh buddy, like he put on a clown nose at one point, he like put on a costume at some point, and he was like just like he would do these like really odd like things, and it was usually after like some sort of like
disappointment. The water gun.
Yeah, it was a little bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that's the good part about the book, is that they meant to humanize Michael. Like he wanted to do right by his fans and like himself, and he was really
passionate.
Yeah, he really wanted this tour to be like, everything, and he was working really hard for it to be, everything, and I appreciated that,
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, the vocals were on point. I would say, like from everybody. There's a woman who plays his mom, and she's also, I guess, like a background singer. But I couldn't see her a lot of the times just based on
if it wasn't downstage and center or like left, we could not see anything.
Ayanna George, does that sound right?
Yeah, it sounds right.
She was the one who was like a backup singer for like so many different people, but
the woman who plays his mother.
But it was over 25 years, a background vocalist for major recording artists, including John Legend and Jasmine Sullivan.
She used
her Broadway debut. You'd be like, what? Like, oh my goodness. So, did we talk about the set at all?
A little bit.
Oh,
I touched on it.
Okay. The set is basically just like the open stage. It's meant to look like a rehearsal space. So there really wasn't much going on. There was like a desk, and then there are like moving pieces that come on and off as like props for like
the scene,
so like a flashback or like part of the tour or stuff like that. I think part of the band is on the stage, I want to say.
Yeah, apparently, right? I think they go in and out.
Do they? Oh, okay.
Kind of waitress style.
Can't see them. Couldn't see them when we were too far right. And I think that's where they are. They were on the right.
They used a lot of graphics like on the wall and stuff like that. You see that a lot in the what's the song right before intermission? They don't really care about us. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Is that it? And he's doing a press conference, right?
That was a good scene.
Yeah,
that was a good number.
Yeah,
see, I like the numbers. It was.
That's why it makes me think that it would work better as a review, so we could get like all the numbers in like full, like, like, oh, man, it would have been so cool. Not that we disliked the show, we actually really liked it. The only thing I would say that let us down was the ending, because they build up of him wanting this toaster effect of, That, you know, the iconic Michael pops up from a toaster.
Whose idea was that? They said musical numbers in alphabetical order. Why would you do that? So I'm sitting here like, that's not right. That's not right. Like, what's happening?
So they built up, like, a lot of the build up is Michael wants this toaster effect to happen in the show, and everyone's like, 1, it's dangerous. 2, it costs too much money. Like, 3, like, there's so many other things he could be doing. Like, why does he want this toaster so bad? And so the whole show's built up to that, and then at the end, he pops up on the toaster. You're like, yeah, he got his toaster, and then he comes down, and that's it.
And that's the end of the show. We were like,
no, like I wanted more. Like you started to now, like he really started the show. I wanted more.
Really, really.
You know, like I think it would have been interesting if it was a review if he popped up in the toaster first thing first.
Right.
And did like that Michael like stare down that you normally do, and everyone's like, yes, because I would have never, you know, you wouldn't expect that.
It would have been like how his concerts are, like when he just like pops up and like stares you down.
Yeah, like
and everyone's like losing their minds and passing out and like
yeah.
This was a drop screen from intermission. It's actually copied from his notes. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That you could see it. Yeah, intermission. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and also the costumes, because the show was supposed to take place in '92. I feel like some of the people's costumes didn't really reflect that.
Right. When they're supposed to be like his dances and like rehearsal, definitely was not '90s.
Like Miss from MTV, her outfit seemed very current.
Yeah, it did.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's 92, where the acid wash.
Yeah. Unless we, like, missed out where, like, it's not meant to be.
That's another thing. Like, if you weren't around in that time, like, I would not have known the Dangerous Tours in 92. That's before my time. Like, you know, I didn't know when the Dangerous album, like, I'm trying to think. I'm like,
no, it was supposed to be 92, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, when is 90, you know, like, right, I needed to see that in the costumes and things like that.
We were in utero in 92.
So,
but yeah. Those little boys that played Little Michael and Little Marlon, they were really cute.
Oh, Little Michael's voice is so great.
It was like
such
perfect.
A sweet voice. Yeah, such a sweet voice. Michael has such
Christian
we're so Christian. He has such a Michael has such an interesting voice as a young child. Like, you know, not all boy sopranos have Michael's voice. You know what I mean? Like, he had a very strong voice for a child. Very, you know, like, it's kind of like Frankie Lyman in that sense. Like, he has a very interesting voice for a boy soprano. And not every boy soprano sounds that nice.
Right.
So, it's very interesting.
Also, kind of funny, but not funny, is, like, so many times throughout this show, I kept making, like, Shrek references. And I don't know, like, why. Like, I was picking up on Shrek references, but it was, like, happening. The first one comes to mind is during like I'll Be Like There. It's like he was singing I'll Be There as a duet with his mother, and then his father comes because he needs to go rehearse and like grabs him and walks out, and then like the middle-aged Michael like comes and like takes over and starts like not middle-aged, the current Michael takes over like where he left off, and I was like, oh my god, I know it's today. But like go around, and then like she gets older and older like every single time. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was another time, right? I was like,
there was a few. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, me too.
That's interesting. The who plays Michael, right? Do they call him Michael?
Which one? The middle one?
Middle one, yeah. Because they call the current MJ, like the latest MJ that we know as MJ. Miles Frost MJ.
Ooh. I think it was this guy. Wait, let me just look at the thing.
Forgot his name.
It's either these two. Antoine or Zelig.
Do they have their pictures? I can show you.
Yeah.
He had a very specific face. Let me see.
We didn't see him. Was it him? Wanza?
You hear me? He had a very specific face. Me, I cannot find the face. We saw.
I wouldn't say it was him.
Wanza? Did you see Wanza? Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He. I feel like he has like the hardest job.
He does.
Kind of, because he's in between Michaels, and it's like really hard to be like in between Michaels.
Yeah, it doesn't specify. It just says the roles.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He has a very, very hard job to do. He's kind of so.
Yeah. Castle's working though.
Mm-hmm. Castle's working so hard. I really like the numbers I really like the number where he uses his dance inspiration. So his dance inspirations were Fosse, the Nicholas brothers.
Yeah, that was cool.
Who else?
Fred Astaire.
Fred Astaire. I'm surprised that they have James Brown.
They do talk about him though.
Yeah, but I'm surprised he wasn't like in the dance for like that. I really like that number, especially when it got to the Fosse part. I love Fosse. Should we talk gear?
Sure.
Let's talk gear.
We got gear.
We got stuff. So we got t-shirt. Looks like the playbill, but in black and gray.
Right.
And then we got
a magnet, which looks like the t-shirt and the playbill.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. I really like the style of magnets that they're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And we got,
of course,
naturally,
window card.
Yay! Which looks like this,
the magnet. That's really cute. They have a really cute tote bag.
They do.
Too. We did not get it. We should have got it.
We have so many totes.
So many totes.
It's not even funny.
We gotta start bringing our reusable totes to the shows.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I mean, like the show specific totes. Like, we have so many of those.
True.
Like, so many.
True.
But, thank you guys for watching. I don't know, Joy, do you want to see Michael again?
I do want to see Michael again because I need to see it, like, centered dead on.
We say this every time we're not centered dead on.
It really changes your perspective of a show. We missed a lot.
We did.
I wish we could say more, but we couldn't see more.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for us to give.
We said plenty. It's been 22 minutes.
We love Michael's music. There's that. But it's just as far as like how the show looks on the stage, we can't really tell you much.
What's your favorite Michael song and why is it Human Nature? It's not. It's mine. Oh man. Well, thanks for watching.
Go see MJ. Bye.